indication of his football mortality. You have to have somebody that can not only hold on to the steering wheel, but not crash the car multiple times.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. The Pippins unfortunately did lose the series finale last night against the Cowlitz Black Bears 3-1. They did win the series. The season series tied up between them 3-3. Won't see the Black Bears for the rest of the regular season. Potentially, if the Black Bears can put some things together down the line, they could end up in the playoffs. We already know the Pippins are in the playoffs and they could potentially meet later on down the road, but there's a lot of baseball and a lot of things that have to happen in between that to get to that point. I'll tell you something that doesn't have a lot of things in between it. The Pippins facing a different kind of bear, the Highline Bears, tonight and tomorrow night. Both games 7:05 p.m. Team posters available for fans, players signing autographs after the game as well. The Highline Bears came into town a couple of weeks ago and the Pippins swept them in 3 games, just a 2-game set this time. The Pippins will look for the same result either way. They'll start with Connor Wilson on the mound, the left-hander. He has 1 start on the season for the Pippins. Other than that, he's been out of the bullpen since joining the team in late June. He'll get the start here. Kirby Robertson on the mound tomorrow night. When we come back, I'll have a recap for you from last night's game, including the Pippins tying it up in the 7th and ultimately losing the lead in the 9th. That is coming up right here on the Pippins pregame show.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. It's always a pleasure to have you along. Last night, unlike the first two nights, a low-scoring affair between the Cowlitz Black Bears and the Yakima Valley Pippins. The Black Bears got on the board first with this hit in the third inning.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Sam Brown lines this one into shallow center. Chase Graves over to it. Scoring from second is Nishida. The throw will go to third. It's cut off by Connor Cabalas.
Outside of that one run, Kenny Johnson was absolutely dealing last night. 6 innings, 1 run. He only walked 1, and he struck out 10, which matches the team high for strikeouts in a game set by Tyler Frieders earlier on this season. That is the team high this season. The Pippins would go on to tie the game in the bottom of the 7th, thanks to Chaz Myers and Michael Carpentier Jr.
The payoff pitch takes low and away. Well, he doesn't get the double, but he does walk to start the bottom of the 7th. As Sam Olson bats with Myers on first. Bradwell's first action throws to first, and he throws it away. Myers on his way to second. The ball went into right field, and he thought about going to third, but he does not. The 1-2. He swings and misses at 1 in the dirt, and they have to tag him out. Chaz Myers is on his way to third. Olson decides to just walk back to the dugout. First pitch from Bradwell. Carpentier swings and lifts this one to deep right field. Will it be deep enough? The Stinson, the right fielder, makes the catch. Myers goes to tag. Cut off by Nishida at second base. No throw to the plate. They'll go to third. Nishida wants Bozette to step on third base, but that won't matter. Myers actually left really late from third, and he scores on the sacrifice fly to tie things up here in the bottom of the 7th.
The game was tied. Owen Wild comes into the 8th. Landon Shire comes into the 9th. Game still tied, but he ends up loading the bases and forcing home a pair of runs. First with a walk, then with a hit by pitch. The Cowlitz Black Bears take a 3-1 lead, and the Pippins have no offense in the bottom of the 9th. They walk away with the loss in the series finale. They'll come right back here tonight looking to rebound against the Highline Bears. We'll be back with lineups and first pitch right here on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Yakima County Stadium for another edition of Yakima Valley Pippins Baseball. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. live delivering the action here as the Pippins are about to kick off a 2-game set with the Highline Bears out of the PIL. Take you through tonight's starting lineups. Well, we'll take you through the starting lineups in just 1 minute. We've got a technical difficulty we want to try to iron out before we get started. Give me 1 quick second.
They believe this move that they made today will put them in position to win the World Series once again.
Who's going to play shortstop? Is it going to be Corey Seager, who's coming back from an injury, or is it going to be Trey Turner?
So the interesting thing there, I think it will be Corey Seager in the short term, but Corey Seager is available to go elsewhere in the off term, and I think that is the Dodgers.
Leading off for the Bears is number 10, Dylan Andrews.
All right, problem might be solved as we get first pitch going here in Yakima. First pitch to Dylan Anders is delivered for a ball by Connor Wilson, the left-hander. Pitch up high, and it's 2-0. Seeming to have some sort of issue with our crowd mic today, so the background might be a little quieter than normal. Here's the 2-0 to Anders. He swings and misses, and that's strike one. The 2-1 pitch, that one popped up out of play on the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Dylan Anders, the third baseman for the Highline Bears. We'll take you through the rest of the starting lineups brought to you by the Yakima Herald Republic. For the best sports coverage in the Yakima Valley, subscribe to the Yakima Herald Republic either in print or online. You can subscribe by calling 577-7755. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell your stories. The 2-2 pitch misses up high, and it's a full count for Dylan Anders. Noah Pulowski, the DH, he hits second for the Bears, followed by Tyler Black, the left fielder, as Anders takes up high, and he walks with a full count to start this game in the top of the first inning. Ronnie Moss hits cleanup tonight, one of the better hitters for the Highline Bears, as we remember it from a couple of weeks ago when they were in town. He's the right fielder. Jaron Larson, the center fielder, he hits fifth. Kyle Casperson will bat sixth and play catcher tonight. Trey Hunt, the first baseman, hits seventh. Robbie Vandergrift hitting eighth and playing second base. And Ryan Oka will bat ninth and play shortstop. Noah Pulowski takes a first pitch strike. Dylan Anders on first base. Left-hander Connor Wilson on the mound for the Yakima Valley Pippins. 4 appearances in West Coast League play. 1 start. Does not have a decision in that time. Big swing, tipped back by Pulowski. He's behind 0-2. 6 strikeouts and 2 walks for Wilson over 9 innings of work in West Coast League play. His first appearance with the team was as a start, and ever since has been out of the bullpen. Here's the 0-2. Pulowski with a line drive to center field. Chase Graves racing back, reaches up, and it's over his head. A few hops as it gets to the wall. To third goes Anders, getting waved around to score as Chase Graves had trouble with it on the warning track. On his way into third goes Pulowski, and Anders scores from first on the RBI triple. And the umpire's checking on Chase Graves to make sure he's okay out in center field. Looks like nothing bruised except his ego on that one. And the Highline Bears lead 1-0. So Tyler Black will bat with a runner on third. The Bears up by 1 already. And no outs. The first pitch to Black. Misses up high, and it's 1-0. First batter of the inning, Dylan Anders, walked on a full count. Noah Pulowski just now had an 0-2 count when he had a long line drive to Chase Graves, who was playing rather shallow in center, had to chase it down all the way to the wall, and then had some trouble with it on the warning track as Black takes strike one, and it's 1-1. Defensively for the Pippins, Corey Jarrell out in left field, Chase Graves in center, and Austin Plante, he's in right field. The 1-1 pitch. Taken down low, and it is 2-1. Alex Fernandez gets a start at third base tonight. We've seen him at second base. And the corner outfield positions. Gets the start at a corner infield position tonight. The 2-1 pitch to Black. Swung on and missed, and it is 2-2. Spencer Marenko playing shortstop. Peyton Stumbo at second base. He has made 2 starts as a position player, Peyton Stumbo has. Both of them have come in, or 2 appearances as a position player, both of them in non-league play. Strike 3 called on the backdoor slider to Tyler Black, and he is out number 1. As Chad Little, the home plate umpire, rings him up. Here's Ronnie Moss. So Peyton Stumbo gets his second start, third appearance as the second baseman for the Pippins here tonight. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic gets the start at first base, and behind the plate is Michael Carpentier Jr. Ball taken up high by Moss. Bats from the right side. Infield now moves in. The 1-0 pitch. That one taken inside and low, and it's 2-0. Wilson threw the windup. The 2-0. Grounder to the third baseman, Alex Fernandez. It goes off of his glove as he tries to field it from his side, and the run scores as Ronnie Moss is in with either a base hit or an error, depending on how it goes down. Fernandez maybe had the time to hop over to his left and get his body in front of that one, but stuck the glove out, and it bounced off the top of the glove. They are going to go ahead and credit Ronnie Moss with an RBI base hit there. That scores Noah Pulowski, and the Highline Bears lead 2-0. First pitch to Jarrell Larson is called a strike, and it's 0-1. One out here in the top of the first inning. First two batters aboard. They both scored. Here's the 0-1. That one, the front door slider that time, and it's in there for a strike, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, grounded down the first base line. That goes foul. Bryce got the glove on it anyways. No balls and 2 strikes still for the center fielder, Jarrell Larson. The Highline Bears come into this game 2-13 against West Coast League opponents. Pippins have not lost a non-league game this season. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Floats the curveball. Taken, strike 3 by Jarrell Larson, and that is out number 2. So a walk and 2 hits in the inning for the Highline Bears. 2 outs, both of them strikeouts. Taken, strike 3. And here's the catcher, Kyle Casperson, trying to keep the inning going with the runner, Ronnie Moss, on first base. Carpentier behind the plate tonight. He has a .478 caught stealing percentage. He's caught 11 of 23 would-be base stealers. First pitch strike taken at the knees. It'd be interesting to see one of these Highline Bears try the arm. I don't believe Carpentier was with the team when when Highline was here earlier this season. The 0-1 pitch misses high and outside, and it's 1-1. And in fact, Carpentier was not with the team. Pop fly out of play on the first base side, bounces off the stands and down towards the concourse below. 1-2 for the catcher, Casperson. Carpentier during that trip had gone out of town. He was still recovering from a couple of different injuries and wanted to see his hometown doctor. Brock Melenda came in for that Highline series. The 1-2 pitch. Hard grounder to the shortstop, Spencer Marenko, picks it up and flips it to second base, and that is out number 3. So 2 runs for the Highline Bears here in the top of the first inning. The Pippins will bat for the first time, already trailing 2-0. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back for the bottom of the first inning. Spencer Marenko will lead things off for the Pippins, followed by Bryce Martin Grudzalanek and Taylor Holder, shortstop, first baseman, and DH tonight for the Pippins. Rest of the lineup, Michael Carpentier Jr. is catching, hitting cleanup again tonight. Corey Jarrell bats fifth. He's in left field. Austin Plante, the right fielder, is hitting sixth. Alex Fernandez, the third baseman, bats seventh. Peyton Stumbo hitting eighth tonight, second base. And Chase Graves, the center fielder, rounds out the bottom of the order. First pitch swinging was Spencer Marenko. Fly ball into right field. Ronnie Moss over to make the catch, and he does. That is a quick out number one here in the bottom of the first. So that'll bring Bryce Martin Grudzalanek to the plate for the first time tonight. He's hitting .208 on the season in West Coast League play. These are the last two non-league games for the Pippins of the season. Here's the first pitch to Bryce. Takes up high for a called ball. On the mound tonight for the Highline Bears, Aiden McCann. Be a freshman out of Linfield College in the fall. 6'3", 165 right-hander through the windup. Here's the 1-0. Hard grounder, third base line. Not played clean by Dylan Anders, but on the second effort gets the throw off, and Bryce barely beats it out by a step. That's a, well, we'll see on that one too. I could see that going down as an error. To bring Taylor Holder to the plate, the DH in tonight's game. He's hitting .265 on the season. 15 runs scored and 7 RBI. McCann working out of the stretch. First pitch misses low and away, and it's 1-0. So Bryce's hit goes down as an infield single. Taylor Holder with a 1-0 count. The pitch misses low and away, and it's 2-0. So the Pippins tonight wearing slightly different uniforms than we've seen in the past. They are wearing green, but a darker green. And it's actually Players Weekend here in Yakima. So all of the players on top of their numbers have names, which here in Yakima, as well as most of, if not the entire West Coast League, no names on the backs of jerseys generally. But here on Players Weekend, the players get the opportunity to choose what goes on the back of their jersey. Here's the 3-0 to Taylor Holder. He takes on the outside corner, and it is 3-1. And Taylor Holder, his nickname on the back is Tay. Nice and short. Unfortunately, the baseball skills camp where he earned the nickname Papa Duck from his campers came after they had to choose these. He lasers this one on the third base side. At one hops Dylan Anders. No way he makes that play into left field. Holder on his way to second. He'll jog in with a stand-up double. Bryce Martin Grudzalanek goes first to third on the play, and the Pippins have two runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the first with one out. So here's Michael Carpentier Jr., whose nickname is Lil Carpy, what he has above the 55 on the back of his jersey. So dark green uniforms. They've got white sides, white shoulders, and the numbers and lettering on the back are all white as well. Timeout called, or McCann steps off. Runners on second and third, one out. Fresh count for Carpentier. The first pitch, he takes a backdoor breaking ball that time in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. White pants for the Pippins here tonight. Actually didn't get a chance to see what hats they're wearing. I believe they're wearing their dark green hats as well. Here's the 0-1 to Carpentier, taken outside. Casperson leaves the crouch to see if any of the runners were going to lean on that one. Actually, the different color green has brought an interesting matchup with Bryce Martin Grudzalonic's arm sleeve. He's standing on third base. He's got a neon green one that goes well with the other green jersey the Pippins wear. Carpentier lines this one into right center field. That will drop in for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. Bryce is watching the ball as he jogs home. Taylor Holder almost catches up to him as they both score, and this game is tied in the bottom of the first on the 2-run double by Michael Carpentier Jr. So back-to-back doubles by the Yakima Valley Pippins here in the bottom of the first following the single by Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. And this game is tied. Here's Corey Jarrell. Jarrell was not listed as having a nickname on our manifest of player nicknames. His just says Jarrell, but he does have a couple of letters on the back of his jersey. Might just say CJ. First pitch he takes inside, and that's ball one. So Carpentier on second base, Jarrell at the plate. Jarrell hitting just under 200 in West Coast League play. He's hit the ball well in non-league play. Here's the 1-0, and he pops one up out of play on the third base side. It is 1-1. One out in the inning. Pippins have scored two to answer the two from the Highline Bears. Chad Little, the home plate umpire. John Polin out on the bases. Same two guys who just worked the Cowlitz series here in Yakima. They stick around for these two non-league games. The 1-1 pitch. Shallow pop fly down the left field line. Looks like it's in foul territory, and Dylan Anders has trouble getting underneath it. So it will be a foul ball, and it is 1-2. Anders lost his hat quickly on that one and was trying to track it down, kind of zigzagged a little bit, but ultimately wasn't able to bring it down and was too far away from the left fielder or the shortstop to be able to catch up to it. Aiden McCann gets some sort of talking to from John Polin out on the bases. I would imagine it's about pace of play, and certainly after the game last night, it was a few minutes short of being the longest game of the season for the Pippins, longest 9-inning game anyways. Here's the 1-2 to Jarrell. Off the end of the bat, goes to the third baseman Anders, picks it up clean and throws across in time to get Jarrell by a step at first base. So that will bring Austin Plante to the plate. And I think for him, he had one of the easier decisions to make as far as nickname to put on the back of his jersey, and Aiden McCann wants another new baseball. Plante, whose last name is often mispronounced as Plant because it's spelled Plant with an E at the end. He has gone with Plant without the E as his nickname on the back of his jersey. The first pitch he takes at the knees for a called strike. Left-handed hitter Plante behind the left-handed hitting Corey Jarrell, who's behind the left-handed hitting Michael Carpentier Jr., and Alex Fernandez, who also bats left-handed, is behind Plante. Here's the 0-1. Fouls that one out of play on the third base side. It was an outside pitch. He tried to take it the other way and just took it a little too far the other way. So 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight for the Pippins, and they all hit back-to-back-to-back. Crust Angel likes to group them together. Right-hander on the mound for the Bears, Aiden McCann working out of the stretch with Michael Carpentier Jr. on second. The 0-2 pitch misses up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes for Austin Plante. Plante will be attending Washington State University in the fall. Finished off his spring with the College of Southern Nevada. Here's the 1-2. Chopper, second base side. Robbie Vandergriff picks it up over to first, and Austin Plante grounds out. The Pippins score 2 runs on back-to-back doubles from Taylor Holder and Michael Carpentier Jr. They tie the game up at 2. We head into the second, 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Highline Bears. We'll be right back. You're tuning in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back for the top of the second inning. Trey Hunt will lead things off for the Highline Bears, followed by Robbie Vandegrift and Ryan Oka. 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup for the Highline Bears. Hunt, the big right-handed hitter in the Bears lineup, will face off against the left-hander Connor Wilson, getting the start for the Pippins. In the last series against the Highline Bears, Pippins starting pitchers generally win about 5 innings. Dylan Bishop was having a nice little start and was limited to just 5 because of the non-league nature. Wanted to make sure some guys got some work. Grounder down the third base line goes foul. And in fact, so Dylan Bishop went 5. Kirby Robertson went 5. That was the second and third games against Highline. The first game was a little more of a bullpen day, so Weston Janevs actually started, and he went just 3 innings. Fly ball, shallow right field. Out on the grass is Peyton Stumbo in right field, and he makes the catch a few steps in front of Austin Plante, who just sort of stood there and let Stumbo have it. They kind of joke back and forth after the catch gets made. That'll bring Robbie Vandegrift to the plate. Stumbo covered a lot of ground getting out into what I would no longer consider shallow right field. First pitch to Vandegrift taking down low, and it's ball 1. Vandegrift, a freshman out of Skagit Valley College. Here's the 1-0. That one over the heart of the plate, 1-1. Pitching coach Kelly Fitzpatrick, former coach at Skagit Valley. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. By the way, the coaches also have nicknames on the backs of their jerseys. Fitzpatrick's is quite simply Fitz. Kenny Johnson, the ball boy tonight, as he usually is when he's not starting. The 1-2, and Vandegrift grounds this one over to Stumbo at second base. Picks it up over to first, and that is out number 2. Johnson's nickname on the back of his jersey is Ken Dog. Starting pitcher last night for the Pippins, as you might have heard in the pregame show, or if you catch our postgame shows presented by Cascade Natural Gas, where we interview the Cascade Natural Gas high-efficiency player of the game every night. Kenny Johnson was the player of the game last night after striking out 10 batters in 6 innings. Here's the 0-1 to Ryan Oka. Grounder to the shortstop, Spencer Marenko. Scoops it up from the dirt. Hard throw over to first and gets Oka by a step. 1-2-3 inning for Connor Wilson here in the second, and we go to the bottom of the second, tied at 2. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Pippins as well. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty!
Enough!
With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be on, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting.
Come on. Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back for the bottom of the second inning. Alex Fernandez will lead off, followed by Peyton Stumbo and Chase Graves. Defensive alignment for the Highline Bears. Tyler Black out in left field. Jaron Larson, the center fielder. Ronnie Moss manning right field territory. Dylan Anders, the third baseman, has seen plenty of action so far in just one inning defensively. Fernandez was squared around and pulled back the bat to take ball one up high. Anders was crashing after he saw the bunt. Shortstop Ryan Oka and Robbie Vandegrift at second base. First baseman is Trey Hunt. Here's the 1-0. Off the end of the bat, popped up out of play behind home plate, and it is 1-1. Trey Hunt, if memory serves, actually pitched in one of the games the Pippins played. He pitched the second game against the Pippins back on July 14th. After starting the game as the first baseman, came in for one of the innings of relief as the pitcher. As Fernandez takes low and away, and it's 2-1. Fernandez has started producing some runs at the plate for the Pippins in West Coast League play. He got the start with some non-league action as he fouls one off, and it's 2-2. He was one of the players that had a big series against the Highline Bears. In the series opener, he actually had gone 3 for 3 with 2 walks. He had 4 RBI in just his first 2 at-bats. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He takes low and inside, and it's a full count for Fernandez. Nickname on the back of his jersey, Fernie, which is what the players have taken to calling him in the clubhouse. He actually has a lot of nicknames. I had them list them all out for me. It took a while. The 3-2 pitch, he fouls off on the third base side. Fernie, the most popular one, that's the one I like to stick with as well. Also New Kid, which is interesting because he's not the newest player on the team. The Pippins got a handful of pitchers that showed up after him. Brock Melenda came into town. And even after all of those guys were added to the roster, Alex Fernandez was still New Kid. 3-2 pitch, grounder to the second baseman, Robbie Vandegrift. He'll scoop it up, and the speed of Alex Fernandez will not be enough on the grounder right to the second baseman. He is out number 1. When you've got the speed like Alex Fernandez out of the left-handed batter's box, he can usually at least build the pressure against the infielders, but when you hit it right at the second baseman, that's probably the one guy who it's the least amount of pressure. If you can get it to the left side of the infield, you might have some more luck. Here's the first pitch to Stumbo. Checks his swing, and did he go around? He did, says John Poland over at first base. That's strike 1. Stumbo, another one of the players who did not have a nickname listed on our list of players' jersey names. Here's the 0-1. Takes inside, and it's 1-1. And unlike Jarrell, his last name of Stumbo is what's on the back of his jersey. 1 ball and 1 strike. McCann delivers and misses down low. It is 2-1. 3 hits for the Pippins in the top of the first inning. 2 runs were scored. They left Michael Carpentier Jr. out at first base. The 2-1 pitch misses low again, and it is 3-1. No walks and no strikeouts for Aiden McCann. Meanwhile, Connor Wilson threw 2 innings. He has walked 1 and struck out 2 with 2 hits and 2 runs against him. Here's the 3-1 from McCann.
misses low and away. That one almost caught the corner, but Stumbo walks on 5 pitches, and he's the first runner aboard here in the bottom of the second. Chase Graves will bat, or as the back of his jersey says, Gravy. It's a nickname that he's had for a while, he told me. With Peyton Stumbo on first base. Here's the first pitch. Graves takes up high. That's ball 1. As Aiden McCann struggles a little bit to find the strike zone. First walk issued by him in this game here in the second inning. Graves looking down to Kyle Crustangel at the third base coach's box. Gets the sign in. And he's ready for the pitch. Throw over to first. Late reaction from Peyton Stumbo, but he does get in there safely. John Poland made that a little dramatic. The field umpire, he had pointed at Peyton Stumbo, which usually is followed by a punch out, but instead the point and the safe call, and Peyton Stumbo is back in. That was a late slide back. Not that he was taking off for second, he just reacted to it slowly. Stumbo does take off for second, but it's a bouncer on the third base line that goes foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the Pippins certainly caught the attention of Aiden McCann by getting that sign in that took Chase Graves a while to step back in. That's why he threw over, and turns out they might have had a play on there. Perhaps a hit and run situation on the 1-0 count. Stumbo has not taken off for an attempted stolen base in his 2 games in non-league action. He's pitched quite a bit for the Pippins. Here's the 1-1. Graves checks his swing. I think fouls it off the knob of the bat. And it's 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first base. Game tied at 2 here in the bottom of the second inning. Stumbo takes off again, and Graves gives this one a ride. Deep line drive to left field. It will bounce on the warning track and off of the wall. Peyton Stumbo, who was running on the play, he's rounding third. He will score before the ball gets into the infield, and Chase Graves has himself an RBI double to give the Pippins a 3-2 lead. Well, hit and run or not, that one certainly worked. Chase Graves gave that one a ride, a hard hit baseball, but one hops the wall off the warning track. Chase Graves does have 2 home runs this season. Both of them, though, are to the opposite field, right field. And Spencer Marenko, top of the lineup, will bat with 1 out and a runner on second base. Pippins leading 3-2. McCann looks back at second. Here's the first pitch taken outside. We'll take you right back to that hit from Chase Graves. Peyton Stumbo takes off for second base. Graves gives that one a ride all the way to deep left field. Almost bounces over the short part of the wall where the scoreboard is. Would have been a ground rule double. Instead, it ends up being a stand-up double for him. They don't even get it back into the infield before Peyton Stumbo is able to score from first. Mound visit right now for the Highline Bears. As Aiden McCann continues to struggle to throw strikes, although he did have a 1-2 count against Chase Graves. He walked the first batter that he's walked in this game, the Peyton Stumbo, who just came around to score. Spencer Marenko, by the way, his nickname is one of my favorites in conjunction with his brother. The back of Spencer Marenko's jersey says Mason's brother. And if you had to guess what Mason said, I'll give you 2 guesses. But his just says Mason. The 1-0 rips a grounder between the legs of Dylan Anders. That's through the 5-hole. Chase Graves over to third. He was waiting to make sure it got through the infield, and it did. So that will put runners on the corners after the base hit by Mason's brother. The only shame is that Mason isn't in the lineup tonight. We might see that tomorrow night. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. I believe he's the last guy in the lineup who's
name I missed saying in the first inning, and he goes by Lil Grud. As him and Michael Carpentier Jr. go with the rapper connotations. The fly ball down the third base line, and Anders is looking at the shortstop, Oka, who does make the catch for out number 2. Chase Graves thought about challenging the arm, but he does not. So it's just a fly out for Bryce Martin Grudzelanek in fair territory on the third base line. Caught by the shortstop, Oka. That will bring Taylor Holder to the plate. Tay had an RBI double. Or, sorry, he did not have an RBI double. He had a double that put runners on second and third before the 2-run double by Michael Carpentier Jr. First pitch, Spencer took off running. Taylor drops this one into shallow left field. Spencer will go all the way to third. The throw goes to second so that Taylor has to stay at first. Although they almost muffed that one, and Taylor had the opportunity to try for it, though he stays at first. So runners still on the corners, but 1 run scores, and the Pippins now lead 4-2. Lil Carpy at the plate. He had the 2-run double in the first inning. Runners on the corners and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The first pitch to him, he takes at the knees. Delayed steal from Taylor Holder, and now he's caught in a pickle. That will allow the run to score, and he'll try to see if he can get out of it now. Hard sprinting into second, and he dives, tries to get underneath the tag, but does not. He beat one out a couple of nights ago, doesn't do it here, but the run does score. Spencer Marenko from third, and really that was the objective of the play. So Michael Carpentier Jr. will be at the plate when the bottom of the third comes around. Until then, we go to the top of the third. Top of the lineup for the Highline Bears, who now trail 5-2. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back for the top of the third inning, top of the lineup for the Highline Bears. We'll take you through how the 5th run of this game was scored by the Pippins. Go back, runners on first and third. Carpentier Jr. at the plate. He takes a first pitch strike at the knees. Taylor Holder with a delay steal. Gets intentionally caught up between first and third, allowing Spencer Marenko to sprint home. He touches the plate, and then Holder does his best to try to get out of the pickle. He ends up getting tagged out at second base. The run scores. Pippins lead 5-2 as we head into the third. And here's Dylan Anders to start things off. Connor Wilson still on the mound. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk for him. First pitch strike right over the heart of the plate to Anders. High fly ball in the infield as Anders throws his bat down in disgust. The shortstop, Spencer Marenko, underneath it to make the catch, and that is out number 1. That will bring Noah Pulowski to the plate.
First pitch to Pulowski, taken for a called strike. Pulowski, after Dylan Anders reached on a walk to start the game, Pulowski had a triple that scored the first run of the game. Pulowski would later score on a base hit by Ronnie Moss. This one, a high fly ball, shallow left field, just onto the grass is Spencer Marenko, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Here's Tyler Black. He struck out looking his first time at the plate. See if Wilson will have the solution for him again here in the 3rd inning. Left-hander Wilson through the windup. First pitch, they try to go the back door and misses outside. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, taken up high, 2 balls and no strikes. For the right-handed hitting Tyler Black. Wilson with the 2-0. Fouled off the face mask of Michael Carpentier Jr., so Chad Little will go ahead and walk the baseball out to Connor Wilson. Allow Michael Carpentier Jr. to shake the cobwebs a little bit. The Highline Bears tonight, gray pants, blue pinstripe down the sides, navy blue jerseys for them with white numbers and lettering on the front. I believe they've got either black or navy blue hats. Hard to tell from this angle. The two look so similar from a distance. Pippins are wearing their dark green hats that do match the jerseys quite well. The 2-1 pitch slips out of the hand of Connor Wilson, and it is 3-1 as he misses that one high and outside. The 3-1 up, and Tyler Black walks with 2 outs. So second walk issued by Connor Wilson. So 2s all over the stat line for Connor Wilson now. Last appearance was on July 23rd in Wenatchee for Connor Wilson. He pitched 1 inning of relief, no runs, 1 hit, no walks. He did strike out 2. The first pitch to Ronnie Moss takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Moss had the RBI base hit that scored Pulowski and gave the Highline Bears a 2-0 lead to start the game. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off the end of the bat, and that one caught a piece of the foot, I believe, of Carpentier, if not Chad Little. So no balls and 2 strikes. Cash Ulrich had come out of the dugout to get that baseball, and Kenny Johnson looked offended. Cash was taking work out of his hands. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Moss. Popped up out of play on the first base side. That was in on the hands. Cash Ulrich, by the way, his shirt says C Money, although he's wearing a pullover windbreaker, so you don't get to enjoy it today. Obvious play on his first name being Cash. Here's the 0-2. Backdoor breaking ball that misses up high, and it is 1-2 to Ronnie Moss. Wilson gets the sign, looks over at first as he comes set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung at and missed by Ronnie Moss. 3rd strikeout of the night for Connor Wilson. The first swinging strikeout for him, and he's through the 3rd inning. Pippins lead 5-2. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back for the bottom of the third inning. Michael Carpentier Jr. will lead things off, followed by Corey Jarrell and Austin Plante. Carpentier fouls one off on the first pitch. It's 0-1. He took a first pitch strike in the bottom of the second inning with runners on the corners. Taylor Holder, the first base runner, had a delays steal to second base to try to get caught in the pickle, and it worked, allowing Spencer Marenko to score from third, giving the Pippins a 5-2 lead before Holder was tagged out to end the inning. Strike taken on the outside half of the plate by Carpentier. No balls and 2 strikes. Carpentier 1 for 1 tonight with a 2-run double. McCann threw the windup, the 0-2 pitch, and he takes it high and away. That is ball 1. The Bears scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning. The first 2 batters were able to get on base and come around to score. The 1-2 pitch takes low and inside, and it is 2-2. Pippins immediately tied it up with that 2-run double by Carpentier in the first, and then added 3 more in the second. Carpentier, the first of 4 straight left-handed hitters in the lineup for the Pippins. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he hits this one hard through the right side of the infield. That will go down as a base hit for Carpentier, who is now 2 for 2. That one just got out of the infield in a hurry. Took one hop on the dirt between first and second base and out into right field. Here's Corey Jarrell. Jarrell grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning. First pitch to him here in the third. He takes at the knees for a called strike. Jarrell also wears an arm sleeve, just like Bryce Martin Grudzalonic, that he tries to coordinate with whatever uniforms the team is wearing. He also has a neon green one, but unlike Bryce, he's wearing white tonight, because the neon green doesn't really go with the dark green jerseys that they're wearing today. Takes a ball high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike for the left fielder, Jarrell. The first couple of starts defensively this season were out in right field, but since then he has moved and played mostly left since he's returned from laser eye surgery. Throw over to first, but Carpentier is back in safely. Carpentier has 1 stolen base on the season in 1 attempt. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Jarrell. Chopper first base side, that goes foul. One of the Bears comes out to make the play. Looks like that was Skylar Manelski, pitcher for them. Came out to grab that foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Jarrell. Out of Brewster, Washington. Sophomore at Yakima Valley College. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a grounder first base side. Second baseman Vandergrift to it. He's able to throw back to second to get Carpentier, the lead runner, at second. But not enough time to get Jarrell. So they get the first out. Jarrell reaches on the fielder's choice. And Austin Plante will bat. Jarrell with a large lead at first base. Plante, bouncer to the second baseman. Vandergrift goes off of his glove. He picks it up over to first. Not in time. Austin Plante beats it out. And the Pippins have runners on first and second with 1 out. That was going to be a tough play at second, even if Vandergrift
picked it clean. Went off the heel of his glove and bounced out. He was able to scurry over and pick it up and get it to first, just not in time to get Plante. I would imagine that should go down as an error for the second baseman. He was sort of in between hops on that one and took a short hop. Here's Alex Fernandez. First pitch from McCann. Taken on the outside corner for a called strike. And they do record that one as an error for Austin Plante. I believe that's the first error in the game. Nope, it is not the first error of the game. Jarrell takes off for third and stops. Swing and a miss from Fernandez, and it is 0-2. Well, I'm trying to find the other errors now. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Fernandez, who takes up high, and it's 1-2. So Ronnie Moss's base hit was changed into an error for Alex Fernandez at third base. That was the one he tried to forehand to his left that went off the glove. Initially ruled a base hit, now in there as an error. The 1-2 pitch misses low and away to Alex Fernandez. And it is 2 balls and 2 strikes for the first-time third baseman. First time this summer he gets the start there. Third base has been a position that has had, I believe, the most number of people start there. The 2-2 pitch. Fernandez swings and misses at a pitch near the letters. And he is out number 2. That will bring Peyton Stumbo to the plate. And also, Bryce Martin Grudzalanek had a hit that was credited as a single that had gone off the glove of the third baseman Dylan Anders that is now an error. Just trying to catch up on some of these things. Peyton Stumbo takes a ball outside in case you're keeping score at home. And there's at least one other. The 1-0 pitch misses low to Stumbo. 2 balls and no strikes, and timeout called. So pitcher Aiden McCann can go ahead and tie his cleats. So it looks like the hit in the bottom of the second by Spencer Marenko, I believe it's the one that went through the legs of Dylan Anders, has also been credited as an error. The 2-0 pitch, both runners were stealing, and Kyle Casperson tried to throw behind the play to second base. Third baseman Dylan Anders loses his glove. Austin Plante on his way home. Both runners will score on a play that got completely out of hand for the Highline Bears. A simple double steal instead turns into 2 runs for the Pippins. They try to double steal on the 2-0 pitch with Peyton Stumbo at the plate. Casperson was late getting the ball out of his glove, still tried to salvage it by going to third, even though Plante had all but beaten it out anyways. The throw gets away from the middle infielders. And the 3-0 pitch taken for a ball by Peyton Stumbo. He walks, and he's now the only runner on with 2 outs as the Pippins score 2 more runs. Let's actually take a look back at that play. As you can see, the Pippins execute the double steal flawlessly. Great jump. Casperson had trouble getting it out of the glove. Throws over the head of the shortstop all the way into center field, so both runners continue running. Jarrell scores easily. Plante takes off for third. They try to throw to third, and the third baseman, Dylan Anders, loses his glove trying to save it from going to the wall. Instead, it goes to the wall. Back to live action here as Chase Graves hits a hard grounder to the third baseman. Long throw, but Graves is retired at first on the ground out for out number 3, but that play scores 2 runs for the Pippins. They now lead 7-2 as we head into the 4th. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back for the top of the 4th inning. Jaron Larson will lead things off, followed by Kyle Casperson and Trey Hunt. 0 for 3 in this part of the lineup. Jaron Larson struck out looking in his first at-bat, takes a strike on the outside corner to start his at-bat here in the 4th. 2 runs for the Bears in the top of the 1st, 2 for the Pippins in the bottom, and then 3 in the 2nd and 2 more in the 3rd. They lead 7-2. As Connor Wilson continues his work on the mound, he has struck out 3, walked 2, allowed 2 hits, and, of course, the pair of runs in the first inning. Soft line drive into shallow right field will bounce in front of Austin Plante. It is a leadoff base hit for Jaron Larson to start the top of the 4th. So here's Kyle Casperson. He grounded into a fielder's choice that ended the first inning. By the way, if we're keeping track of errors as of right now, 2 different errors on that play that allowed the 2 runs to score for the Pippins in the 3rd inning. That was the 3rd error of the inning for Aiden McCann. So he has now 5 unearned runs in this game, 7 runs total. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Casperson, taken in the dirt. Carpentier to it late, throws down, and that won't get there in time. Jaron Larson slid over the second base bag. Luckily, the tag wasn't close, so he takes second on the wild pitch. 1-1 count for Kyle Casperson at the plate. Catcher who initially threw the ball away, trying to throw down to second on the double steal. Went into center field, and then the center fielder threw it away, trying to get Plante out at third. 2 different errors on that play. Foul ball by Casperson, and it's 1-2. This, of course, after Austin Plante had reached on an error by the second baseman. So 3 errors in that inning for the Highline Bears. They now have 5 errors today in just the first 3 innings. Pippins with 1. The 1-2. Hit right at the third baseman, Alex Fernandez. Throws to second, Peyton Stumbo on the bag. And they double off Jaron Larson, who had started going to third thinking that would get through the infield and instead was caught by Alex Fernandez. So it's a double play for the Pippins, their first of the game. And here's Trey Hunt, who bats with nobody on and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Pippins leading 7-2. The first pitch taken above the letters, and it is 1-0. Hunt had an 0-1 count when he popped up to Peyton Stumbo
in shallow right field in his first at-bat in the second inning. He lines this one into lefties. That was just over the head of a fan seated on one of the picnic tables out in lefties. So 1 ball and 1 strike for Trey Hunt. The 1-1 pitch, and oof. Well, it's a hot one here tonight. It was 99 degrees at first pitch. There was one big cloud in the sky. Now it's sort of broken up into a number of different clouds, and hot and humid again tonight as it was last night with not a lot of wind, and that ball slipped out of the hand of Connor Wilson, went untouched to the backstop. A fly ball out of play behind home plate. Looks like it avoided hitting any fans. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for Trey Hunt. A couple of backdoor sliders from Connor Wilson have just slipped right off. Here's the 2-2. That one misses outside, and it's a full count. And as I said last night, it's not the hottest that it's been here. It's just more uncomfortable because of the extra humidity, partially because of the cloud cover here tonight. The 3-2 pitch is taken outside, and Trey Hunt walks with 2 outs. Here's Robbie Vandegrift. And without any wind whatsoever to help ease the temperature, the pitchers just have to deal with it sometimes. There's no rosin bag out on the mound, which I made note of last night. Here's the first pitch to Vandegrift. He takes high and outside as Wilson might be continuing to struggle with grip out there. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Vandegrift out in front of that one. I think they went to the changeup because it's easier to hold on to, and Vandegrift was not expecting it. He was out in front. Trey Hunt on first base, 2 outs. 5-run lead for the Pippins. The 1-1 taken just high, and it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Vandegrift lines this one. It'll bounce on the dirt and into left field. It's a base hit for Vandegrift, his first hit of the night. And the Bears now have runners on first and second. Haven't had 2 runners on base the entire game, actually. Their first 2 runs were a walk and then a triple that scored the first run, and Pawlowski, who had hit the triple, he scored when Ronnie Moss reached on an error, so they've only had 1 runner on at a time. First pitch fouled off the foot of Ryan Oka, and it's 0-1. Oka grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Taken for a ball. They throw down to first, and tagged on the helmet was Vandegrift. Carpentier doing everything he can to try to get some extra guys caught on the base paths. But Vandegrift was back in safely that time. 1 ball, 1 strike for Oka. They haven't had a lot of opportunities to test the arm, just straight steals. So Carpentier trying to find opportunities. Oka takes strike 2, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Oka takes up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oka, a freshman out of Green River College from Auburn, Washington. Runners on first and second and 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. They go backdoor breaking ball, and it's softly lifted into shallow left field. That will drop for a base hit. Trey Hunt getting waved around to score. It's cut off by Alex Fernandez in the infield, who jogs over because nobody's standing on third base. Vandegrift stays on second.
The Bears will have runners on first and second with 2 outs still, but this time the run scores and the Pippins lead 7-3. So new batter for the Highline Bears. It is Thomas Blakeney who will hit for Dylan Anders, who has struggled a bit at third base. That could be the reason for it. Didn't see any obvious injuries or anything like that. As Blakeney takes a pitch up high for ball 1. Anders had walked in his first plate appearance, came around to score on the triple to score the first run of the game for the Bears. Flew out to the shortstop in his second at-bat. Grounder over to third base. Fernandez picks it up, goes the short way to second, but throws it away into right field. Austin Plante will pick it up and get it back into the infield as Vandegrift scores from third. And on his way to third goes Ryan Oka. So Blakeney will reach on the fielder's choice as the Pippins almost found their way out of this inning with just the 1 run scored. But instead, Vandegrift will score on the throwing error by Alex Fernandez at third base, and Oka moves to third on the error. So errors galore in this game. So far, the Pippins with the 3-run edge. Runners on the corners and 2 outs. And Noah Pulowski fouls one off the end of the bat. It's 0-1. This inning got started with a bang. Jaron Larson with a base hit, then Kyle Casperson lined out to Fernandez, who caught Larson at second off the bag for a double play, but then a walk, single, RBI single, and this fielder's choice with the error gives the Bears 2 runs in this inning so far as Pulowski fouls one off and it's 0-2. The 0-2 lefty-on-lefty matchup. They go to the outside corner. It's just off the plate. Carpentier liked the location, trying to get Pulowski to chase. He did not, so it's ball 1, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Grounder first base side. Over to it is Peyton Stumbo, who bobbles it but picks it up, throws to first. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic stretches out, and they get the out to finally end this inning. 2 runs for the Highline Bears here in the top of the 4th inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Pippins now lead 7-3. Top of the order coming up for them. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
Cloud uncertainty.
With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh, wait. Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back for the bottom of the 4th inning as the Pippins lead 7-4. Eden McCann back out on the mound, 3 innings for him, 5 hits, 7 runs, just 2 of them earned, as so far the Highline Bears behind him have committed 5 errors over the first 3 innings, 2 walks and 1 strikeout for McCann, and there's a slight delay at the plate. Not sure what they were waiting on there, but it looks like they're ready to go. Here's the first pitch. Taken low and away. Ball 1 to Mason's brother, who starts things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lil Grud behind him, and Tay hitting third in this inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hard hit line drive into left field. That one will bounce off the base of the wall. Spencer Marenko on his way to second. Will he try for three? He will not. It's a double for Spencer Marenko, his now first hit of the night after the first one goes down as an error. And that starts off the bottom of the fourth. Here's Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. Pippins now have 4 doubles in this game in 4 innings. They had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, none in the third, and 1 so far here in the fourth. Aiden McCann out of the stretch. The first pitch to Bryce. He takes down low for ball 1. Two runs for the Bears in the first and fourth innings. 2 for the Pippins in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. They lead 7-4. The 1-0 pitch, and Bryce with a grounder up the middle. Robbie Vandergrift picks it up in the middle of the infield, and Trey Hunt brings the foot down to tap the first base bag after he jumped up to catch the ball, and that was certainly a close one. Didn't quite look like he had, well, I should say it was too close to be able to tell. You don't want to be in the shoes of John Polin, who ends up making that call. Aiden McCann had tried to stab at it with the glove, and he's lucky he did not touch it. Vandergrift had just enough time to catch that one near the second base bag and throw over to first for the first out. Moving over to third was Spencer Marenko, so he's on third, 1 out. And Taylor Holder lines the first pitch he sees into right field. Ronnie Moss giving chase. He won't make the catch, so Spencer Marenko will score. Moss throws near second, but away. Taylor Holder with a big round. He dives back into second, and he's in there safely. Trey Hunt, who had been trailing on the play, was actually between Holder and the second base bag, so Holder almost slid back into him, and he's not the one who made the catch on the relay throw. Almost would have been obstruction if they had gotten Holder off the bag. So it's a double for Taylor Holder, now the 5th double of the game for the Pippins, and that one scores Spencer Marenko from third base. They lead 8-4. Here's Michael Carpentier Jr. The first pitch misses outside to the left-handed hitter. So Thomas Blakeney should be at third base now. Haven't gotten a chance to look at his jerseys. Carpentier lasers one near the dugout of the Highline Bears. It goes off the netting that covers the railing. I believe it is Blakeney over at third. Who had just pinch hit for Dylan Anders, the starting third baseman, and reached on a fielder's choice, but the inning ended after him when Noah Pulowski grounded out. 1 ball and 1 strike to Carpentier, and he lasers another one, this one higher, just over, bouncing off the cement top to the dugout, the Highline Bears dugout, as he continues to target the opposing team's dugout. Trying to just knock out a few of the players on the competing team. Certainly would make today and tomorrow a little easier for the Pippins. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Takes low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Carpentier. He is 2 for 2 today with an RBI or 2-run double in the first and a single to lead off the bottom of the third inning. He ended up getting put out on a ground ball by Corey Jarrell where they got the lead out at second, but nothing else. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And another one that he pulls just above the dugout. That one hit off the netting above the top of the dugout. I wish I could say he was getting closer to fair with each one, but he's not. They're all going directly towards the other team's dugout as he's way out in front of the pitching of Aiden McCann here. The struggle for some of these Yakima Valley Pippins hitters has been adjusting down to the generally lower velocity pitching of these non-league pitchers.
Highline Bears out of the Pacific International League, the 2-2 pitch, and Carpentier fouls that one off. Not necessarily struggling to adjust down to that speed, but the problem has been ramping back up afterwards. You saw a few weeks ago when Highline came into town, the Pippins swept them at home and hit really well. They scored 10 or more runs in all 3 games, then went off to Cowlitz and got shut out in back-to-back nights. The combination of facing really good pitching in Cowlitz and the fact that they were throwing a lot harder with better stuff than these non-league pitchers throw, as Michael Carpentier Jr. swings and misses at one, and he goes down for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. So for Carpentier, he's out in front of these pitches because they're slower than he wants them to be. And it's hard in the middle of an at-bat especially, but you have to make the decision of, do you want to try to get your timing back down to that speed, knowing you're going to have to ramp it back up when the Pippins go out to Corvallis and then Port Angeles next week, a 6-game road trip coming up for the Pippins. Here's Corey Jarrell, first pitch. He takes low and outside for ball 1. The infield had started to shift over for a heavy pull to Corey Jarrell, but shortstop Ryan Oka is now back around where Taylor Holder is taking his lead off the second base bag, dancing back and forth. Here's the 1-0, taken inside this time by Jarrell, and it's 2-0. 2 outs, runner on second base is Taylor Holder, who drove in Spencer Marenko, who had led off the inning with a double. Pippins leading 8-4 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They've scored at least 1 run in every inning so far. Here's the 2-0 to Jarrell. Gets a piece of it and grounds it over towards the Highline dugout, and Ben Reindell, the head coach of the Highline Bears, does not make the play clean on that one. He has to scurry out of the dugout to pick it up and toss it back over to the Pippins dugout. 2 balls and 1 strike for Corey Jarrell. Aiden McCann comes set. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, and Jarrell chases after that one. It's 2-2. That pitch looked pretty similar to the first 2 pitches of this at-bat, which he successfully laid off, but then got a taste of the blood, fouling one off, and now likes everything coming out of the hand of Aiden McCann. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for the left fielder, Jarrell. The pitch, and he takes that one at the knees. Strike 3. Corey Jarrell follows up Michael Carpentier Jr.'s strikeout with one of his own. 3 strikeouts in this game for Aiden McCann, and the Pippins lead 8-4 into the 5th inning. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back for the top of the 5th inning. Connor Wilson still out on the mound through 4 innings so far. 4 hits against him, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 3 as well. He'll get a 5th inning, and that will probably be it. Although the Pippins did have to use a larger number of pitchers last night than they had been expecting, so he maybe gets a 6th. We'll have to see. Wilson hasn't pitched in about a week. Here's the first pitch to Tyler Black, who starts off the top of the 5th inning, and he takes a ball up high.
High and outside that time from Wilson, who couldn't bring that one across his body enough. The 2-0 pitch catches the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike for Tyler Black, the starting left fielder. Black struck out looking in his first at-bat. He was the first out in the first inning, and he walked in his latest plate appearance. He's 0 for 1. The 2-1 pitch misses in the left-handed batter's box. Quickly 3-1. Same count he walked on back in the third inning. The 3-1 pitch, and that one misses just up high. So Tyler Black has now walked twice tonight. That's the 4th walk issued by Connor Wilson, who's been pretty middle of the road as far as performance tonight. 4 walks now, 3 strikeouts, and 4 hits, as I said earlier. He has allowed 4 runs, but just 2 of them earned. Neither of the 2 in the 4th inning, or actually 1 earned in the first and 1 earned in the 4th, as Ronnie Moss squares around a bunt, pulls it back and takes a ball up high. Carpentier almost threw down to first on that one. Fernandez playing back behind third base. Here's the 1-0 as Moss squares around again. Fernandez a long way to run. It's rolling foul, and Fernandez will barehand it in foul territory. They don't want to make that play. Fernandez, after the bunt and pullback from Ronnie Moss, moved back to where he had started on the first pitch, which was behind the third base bag. Moss now with a 1-1 count, and Fernandez is now even with the third base bag. That's where Moss laid that one down, third base side. Fernandez is quick, but he did not cover as much ground as he needed to be able to make the play from back there. See if Moss just tries it again. He does not. The 1-1 fouled straight back to the backstop, and it is 1-2. Always a loud clank when balls go back to the backstop. There is some padding behind home plate up to a certain point, and then it's a wall, and, of course, the metal railings that comprise the front of the grandstands. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Moss, and takes strike 3 on the backdoor breaking ball from Connor Wilson. Ronnie Moss kind of knew it as it came in. He slouched over, realized he had judged that one too quickly, perhaps judged the book by its cover. And as any book enthusiast would have you know, you at least got to read the last page and then the first page and decide whether you like it. Ball misses low and away to Jaron Larson. 1-0 to start his at-bat. 1 out, 1 on here in the top of the 5th inning. Pippins leading 8-4. The 1-0 pitch. Tyler Black takes off running. Fly ball into left field. Black is on second base with 1 out. Jarrell makes the catch. He didn't realize Black hadn't gone back. The throw goes to first. Price stretches out, and it's a double play for the Pippins. Tyler Black stealing second base. Didn't realize or didn't understand that the ball was in the air with just 1 out. Had to race back, and instead gets doubled off. It's the second caught and failing to tag double play for the Pippins, and it gets them out of the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom half. Pippins leading 8-4. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th inning, and real quick, we have to take you back to this double play
Corey Jarrell has just a fantastic arm out in the outfield and gets to use it here on this play in left. Tyler Black running on the play. Fly ball, he makes the catch. Jarrell didn't even realize right away that Black hadn't gone back to first, so Jarrell realizes it, gets the throw off, and one hops Bryce Martin Grudzalanek at first base, who stretches out to get Tyler Black, who's diving back into the base, and the Pippins turn their second double play of the night. That one ends the top of the fifth. Austin Plante starts off the bottom of the fifth, roping a line drive off the tent covering the right field picnic deck down the right field line, out of play. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Aiden McCann in for his fifth inning of work. Swing and a miss from Austin Plante, and it is 0-2. Nobody getting loose down in the Pippins bullpen, so it looks like Connor Wilson will get a sixth inning of work. Oh, 0-2 pitch taken outside, and it's 1-2 for Mr. Plant, who grounded out in the first inning and reached on an error by the second baseman Robbie Vandegrift in the third. Fly ball that will go out of play on the third base side into the parking lot around Yakima County Stadium, so still 1-2. Plante was on first base, and Corey Jarrell on second when they tried a double steal where the catcher threw it away into center field trying to get Plante, the trailing runner. Jarrell scored, and Plante took third, and then the center fielder tried to get Plante out at third. He threw it away, and Plante also scored on the play. Plante takes one down low, and it's 2-2. Ball got away from Kyle Casperson, and Plante ended up stepping on it. Casperson kind of knocked his foot to get Plante to lift it up so he could get the baseball. The 2-2 pitch is up high, and it's a full count for the right fielder, Austin Plante. Plante, high fly ball, left side of the infield. The shortstop, Ryan Oka, who was playing pole, moves over to where the shortstop would normally play and makes the catch. 4 out number one in the bottom of the fifth. Here's Alex Fernandez. The first pitch to Fernie. He takes on the outside corner for a called strike. Oh, 1 pitch from Aiden McCann, and Fernandez fouls that one off near the dugout on the first base side. So no balls and 2 strikes for Fernandez, playing third base tonight. Has already taken some licks over there. He did help turn a double play on a line drive he caught and caught a runner off at second base. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he takes outside corner, strike 3, froze him on that one. That's the 4th strikeout of the night for Aiden McCann, who has allowed 8 runs, 3 of them earned. And Peyton Stumbo will bat with 2 outs and nobody on. Stumbo has walked twice today. First time came in the bottom of the second inning when he scored on an RBI double by Chase Graves. The first pitch he takes up high, that's ball 1. Stumbo checks his swing on a breaking ball that started up high and looked good and then dropped down low, keeps the bat back, and it's 2-0. Stumbo has seen just 1 strike so far today. Here's the 2-0 pitch from McCann, and he swings and fouls that one off. It's 2-1, make it 2 strikes that Stumbo has seen. Two-1 from McCann out of the windup. He takes in the dirt, and there are 3 balls and 1 strike. Peyton Stumbo out of the University of Nevada, Reno. Will go back as a sophomore in the fall. He's out of Auburn, California. A 3-1 pitch. And that one bounces over the glove of Kyle Casperson. Peyton Stumbo walks for the third time tonight. He's a guy, like I said, has pitched quite a bit for the Pippins, takes BP every day because he's a two-way player and just has been looking for at-bats. Still looking technically for an at-bat here today. 3 plate appearances and 3 walks. He's 0 for 0. And here's Chase Graves, who's 1 for 2. He had an RBI double that scored Stumbo in the second inning. First pitch. Takes low and away for ball 1. Two outs and Stumbo on first base. Stumbo had been running on the play when he scored on the double by Chase Graves. Graves with a ground ball up the middle. The shortstop, Ryan Oka, gets it, and as he's falling to the ground, flips it to the second baseman, Robbie Vandegrift, to retire Peyton Stumbo at second. So a 2-out walk and nothing doing there. Graves grounds into the fielder's choice to end things here in the bottom of the 5th. We turn to the 6th. Pippins on top, 8-4. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball
connected
on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back for the top of the 6th inning. Connor Wilson will pitch a 6th. Looks like they'll start to send some players out to the bullpen as they get ready to start moving to the relief portion of the night. Wilson will get a 6th if he can get through it clean. Here's Kyle Casperson. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Reached on a fielder's choice and also lined into that double play I mentioned earlier. Went straight to Alex Fernandez, who threw to second to catch Jaron Larson off the bag. Casperson takes ball 1 outside and hits a hard grounder up the middle on the second pitch for a leadoff base hit here in the 6th. So Trey Hunt, who is 0 for 1 tonight, flew out to the second baseman, Peyton Stumbo, and walked. Came around to score in the 4th inning. First pitch to him, he misses, catches the outside corner on that one, and it's 0-1. Casperson on first base, no outs here in the top of the 6th, and Hunt lines one well down the left field line, but that goes foul over the short part of the fence behind the bullpen. Just a regular chain link fence that runs all the way down to the foul pole in left field, as well as in right field, although there's a gate down in right field. So the 0-2 pitch to Trey Hunt. They go backdoor breaking ball. It stays outside, and it is 1 ball and 2 strikes for the first baseman, Hunt.
On deck is Robbie Vandegrift. He's 1 for 2. He had a base hit in the 4th inning. The 1-2 pitch to Hunt. He pops up behind home plate. That will go out of play right in front of the press box. And the count remains 1-2. Wilson with the 1-2. This one popped up middle of the infield. Connor Wilson was underneath it on the pitcher's mound, but called off by Alex Fernandez, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Fernandez made that look effortless almost. Even after he had to step onto the mound to make the catch. So Robbie Vandegrift will bat. He had a single in the 4th inning. Him and Trey Hunt both scored in the 4th for the 3rd and 4th runs of the game for the Highline Bears. The first pitch to Vandegrift, he takes on the outside half of the plate for a called strike. No balls in 1 strike. Pitch, runner goes, outside corner strike. Carpentier throws this one to the wrong side of the second base bag, and Kyle Casperson steals second on Michael Carpentier Jr. Uncharacteristic throw from Michael Carpentier Jr. that time, as he threw that one to the third base side of the bag, and Casperson is able to slide in safely. 1-1 pitch, and Vandegrift narrowly gets a piece of that one. It's 1-2. So Casperson in scoring position. Pippins up by 4 here in the top of the 6th inning. Here comes the 1-2 to Vandegrift. Backdoor slider stays outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wilson looks back to second and tries for the 2-2. Vandegrift lines that one just off the top of the screen behind home plate. And the count remains 2-2. Almost a souvenir, but not quite. Instead, it will go back to the Pippins dugout. They'll examine it, decide whether to put it back into play later on in the night. Wilson gets the sign, comes set, looks back at second base. Here comes the 2-2 again. Backdoor slider. Softly grounded to Peyton Stumbo at second base. Fields it on the run and throws over to first. That's out number 2. And moves Casperson over to third on the ground out. Stumbo, after fielding that ball, had looked to third, but he didn't have a chance to get Casperson, so he took the easy out at first. Here's Ryan Oka, who's also 1 for 2. Had an RBI base hit that scored Trey Hunt in the 4th inning. First pitch taken on the outside half for a called strike. 5 hits against Connor Wilson so far. He has 4 strikeouts and 4 walks. And he's an out away from getting through his 6th inning of work. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed by Oka, and it's 0-2. This is the longest outing by far for Connor Wilson with the Pippins. In his first appearance, he started for the Pippins and went just 4 innings against the Walla Walla Sweets in what turned out to be a 16-inning game. As Oka takes a ball outside, and it's 1-2. Since then, he's been used out of the bullpen. Here, he's already 5 2/3 into this game. The 1-2, and Oka barely gets a piece of that one to foul it off. Count remains 1-2. That one just dribbled away from home plate in foul territory. Runner on third base, Kyle Casperson. 2 outs, 1-2 count for the shortstop, Ryan Oka. Grounder, third base side, Alex Fernandez fields it, charging forward, throws over to first across his body, on target and on time. Ryan Oka grounds out, and the Pippins get out of the 6th without another run added. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Pippins ahead 8-4. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty.
With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh, wait.
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order for the Pippins, Spencer Marenko, followed by Bryce Martin Grudzalonic and Taylor Holder. Aiden McCann will head back out for a 6th inning of work, going blow to blow with Connor Wilson. Actually, I have allowed the same number of earned runs in this game, although 8 total runs allowed by McCann, 3 of them earned. Wilson with 4 runs, 3 earned. Wilson's day is done. They are getting somebody loose down in the bullpen now. Aiden McCann will see if they allow him to go out for a 7th, assuming he doesn't have a blow-up inning here in the 6th. Spencer Marenko takes a first pitch inside for a called ball. First pitch, or the 1-0 to Spencer Marenko. Fly ball deep to center field. Racing back is Jarrell Larson, and he makes the catch while falling down on the warning track. Shows the baseball. And the home plate umpire, who had made it all the way out near second base to get a better look at that one, makes the call. Spencer Marenko flies out to the warning track in dead center. What a great play by Jarrell Larson, and that's the first out of this bottom of the 6th inning. Ryan Arredondo getting loose down in the bullpen for the Pippins. And here's Bryce Martin Grudzalonic, who takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1 to start his at-bat. Warm-up pitches getting away from Arredondo. That's the second one of this inning so far. Despite the best efforts of the best bullpen catcher in the West Coast League, Josh Davis down there, doing his best to keep those balls reined in. Here's the 0-1, misses low and away. It's 1-1. Davis will go back to Yakima Valley College in the fall. He's been out nursing an injury. He's getting closer as Bryce Martin Grudzalonic softly lines one into shallow center. Racing out was the shortstop, Oka, and he makes the catch. 2 great catches by the defense here for the Highline Bears. Starts this bottom of the 6th inning, and there are 2 quick outs. Here's Taylor Holder, who's 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a base hit. Fifth inning was just the first time the Pippins were not able to score at least 1 run. See if the Bears can keep them off the board for a second straight inning. The first pitch to Holder, he takes low and away for ball 1. Tay, as the back of his jersey says. Here on Players Weekend, the Pippins given an opportunity to choose their own nicknames to go on the backs of their jerseys. Of course, the numbers stay the same. This is the first time, or a 1-0 pitch to Holder. I'll correct that statement. Not the first time that Taylor Holder has gotten to wear 11 in green, but the Pippins were wearing green last night when they lost. They were poised to wear white tonight, if not for the Players Weekend jerseys being worn. Here's the 2-0. That ball taken just below the knees. It's 3-0. When they do wear white, Taylor Holder has to wear 6 because they don't have a white 11. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And that one taken down low. It's a 4-pitch walk to Taylor Holder, who has reached base in every at-bat of this game.
So here's Lil Carpy stepping to the plate. He's 2 for 3 tonight, 2-run double, base hit in the third, and he struck out swinging in the fourth. He has been mashing the baseball today. Just well-hit line drives. One that one-hopped its way through the right side of the infield. The infield playing heavy pull on him. The shortstop, Ryan Oka, is playing on the second base side. Taylor Holder steals on the first pitch, and he slides in safely. Holder was on first base. Spencer Marenko on third in the second inning when Holder executed a delayed steal with 2 outs to draw a pickle, allowing Marenko to score from third. The play worked. Holder was put out at second base after the run had already scored. This time gets to straight steal and successfully does so. Another hard-hit baseball by Carpentier, but it goes right to the second baseman, Robbie Vandegrift, after the infield was playing the heavy pull, and Carpentier grounds out for out number 3. So the shift works against the left-handed hitting catcher. Taylor Holder walks with 2 outs, still second base, but he is stranded there, and we head into the 7th. Pippins leading 8-4. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back for the top of the 7th inning, and one of the many reasons to come out to a ball game here in Yakima, the Legends Casino Dice Roll, where one lucky fan every night gets a chance to roll the dice for a chance to win up to $500. We had someone win $500 earlier this week, and lucky fan tonight, Deborah, is going home with $250. That could be you here at Yakima County Stadium in the near future. Just got to make your way out to the ballpark and find some of the game day workers. Put your name on the list, and you might get chosen that night. Ryan Arredondo will take over on the mound for the Pippins. Connor Wilson pitched the first 6 innings. He allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts in this game. Arredondo, who has 2 Players Weekend jerseys. One of them just says Arredondo on the back. That's the one that he's wearing tonight on the mound. He will take over here in the 7th. Pippins leading 8-4. He'll face the top of the order, starting with Thomas Blakeney, who hit for Dylan Anders in the 4th. And has come in to play third base as well. Ryan Arredondo, the right-handed flamethrower on the mound. He delivers the first pitch down low to Blakeney. Arredondo, the velocity, not the problem for him. He's got plenty of it and enough to share with others as well. The problem is the command for the young pitcher. The 1-0 pitch taken at the knees for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Arredondo will light up a radar gun. 3 appearances for the Pippins, but walks have been a bit of an issue. Small sample size, but just over 16 ERA. High fly ball deep to right field. Austin Plante on the run, and he makes the catch for out number 1. A couple of great defensive plays made by the Highline Bears in the bottom of the 6th, and Austin Plante returns the favor to start the top of the 7th. There's 1 out, and here's Noah Pulowski. Arredondo came from the University of the Pacific in the spring. He'll go
He'll be a sophomore in the fall. Did not appear in a game for the Tigers. First pitch delivered to Pulowski is a ball, and it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Right over the heart of the plate. Arredondo throws a strike, and it's 1-1. Pulowski had an RBI triple in the first inning to drive in the first run of the game for the Highline Bears. Since then, a flyout and a ground out. He's 1 for 3. The 1-1 swing and a miss from Pulowski, 1-2. Arredondo out of Warden, Washington. Here comes the 1-2. Misses outside, 2-2. Arredondo working out of the windup, kicks and fires. Line drive over the head of the shortstop, Spencer Marenko into left field. It's a 1-out base hit for Noah Pulowski. And the Bears get a runner aboard. Kyle Casperson led off the top of the 6th inning with a single. He stole second base, moved to third on a ground out, but he ultimately got stranded there. The Bears have had at least one base runner in every inning except for the 2nd inning. Tyler Black will bat with 1 out and 1 on. First pitch, and he takes right below the letters for strike 1. Black was on first base when Jaron Larson hit a fly ball to left field. Black was stealing second, and I don't know, either didn't realize the ball was in the air or maybe didn't realize there was only 1 out on the play. He was nonchalant about getting back to first. By the time he realized, he started sprinting, and Corey Jarrell's arm beat him back to the bag for a double play that ended the top of the 5th inning. He takes a ball up high, and it's 1-1. Black, right-handed hitter. 1 strikeout, 2 walks today. Here's the 1-1, and that one in the dirt. Carpentier picks it clean, throws down to first, and Pulowski is caught up in between first and second. The throw goes to Peyton Stumbo, the second baseman, who applies the tag. And Stumbo mimics the out call for the field umpire, John Poland, who then ends up in the middle of the throw over back to Ryan Arredondo. And that will be a conversation, I'm sure, as a mix-up there between Stumbo and Poland. But Pulowski is caught off of first base by Michael Carpentier Jr., who's been trying all night to get a base runner, and he does that time. That will bring, I believe it's 2-1 to Black. So now 3-1 as he takes the ball outside. I was correct. The scoreboard missed that pitch in the dirt. 2 outs, nobody on. Tyler Black, the 3-1 pitch. And he takes at the knees for a called strike. So full count for Tyler Black. 2 outs and nobody on. Arredondo through the windup. The pitch, high fly ball into left field. Corey Jarrell giving chase to the corner near the warning track. And it's back the other way. He dives the other direction and makes the catch. Well, we're used to seeing diving plays from Corey Jarrell, but not ones that he causes himself. He makes the catch that time, and the Pippins get out of the top of the 7th without a run. It's a scoreless inning for Ryan Arredondo, and we head into the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch in Yakima. Pippins up 8-4. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us.
Welcome back for the bottom of the 7th inning. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Pippins, started by Corey Jarrell, Austin Plante, and Alex Fernandez. There is a new pitcher on the mound for the Highline Bears. I don't believe he's been announced yet. Or he was and I missed it. It looks similar to Philip Rowe. I haven't seen the number yet, but just looking at the person, the hairstyle similar to Philip Rowe. Corey Jarrell, left-hander, will lead things off. Right-hander on the mound for the Highline Bears. Aiden McCann made it 6 innings. He allowed 7 hits, 8 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. First pitch is outside to Jarrell. Might actually be Danny Anderson on the mound. Can't tell whether that's a 31 or a 51. Ball 1 to Jarrell. The 1-0 pitch catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. And it is Danny Anderson on the mound. I apologize to any Philip Rowe fans who may have gotten excited hearing his name. He's not in this game yet. And I also apologize to any Danny Anderson fans who thought for a second that he hadn't come into this game when he, in fact, has. 1 ball and 1 strike for Corey Jarrell. And quick visit to the mound for Kyle Casperson, and Chad Little, the home plate umpire, chased him down, I think to help prevent them from getting charged with a mound visit. These umpires have been trying to keep this game moving, and they've done a good job of it so far. 2 hours in, we're in the bottom of the 7th. Not a bad pace. Relatively slow by the standards of the Yakima Valley Pippins as Jarrell takes a strike on the outside corner. The 1-2 pitch, and Jarrell goes chasing up high. He strikes out for out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring Austin Plante to the plate, or just Plant, as the back of his jersey says. Takes a deep breath and now taps the bat a couple of times on the dirt around home plate, brings the bat up, and he's ready. First pitch from Danny Anderson, taken on the outside corner for a called strike. Anderson getting those calls against the lefties on the outside edge, and he's going to keep working outside to the lefties despite the infield playing pole for Plante. The 0-1 pitch misses off the outside edge, and it's 1-1. Plante is 0 for 3 tonight. He did reach on an error by the second baseman Vandegrift. The 1-1 pitch misses outside as well, and it's 2-1. One out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody has scored since the 4th inning as Plante takes a backdoor breaking ball up high, and it's 3-1. Danny Anderson, the 3-1 pitch, catches the outside corner on that one, and Chad Little continues to perhaps stray a little further outside, and the infield figuring things out here. The shortstop Oka goes back over to the other side of the second base bag. They go to the outside corner, and Plante swings through it. Oka had figured out that they were working outside against Plante because they were getting those calls, and Plante, realizing he had to protect the outside edge, went chasing and was not able to find that one on the end of his bat. So 2 strikeouts to start the outing for Danny Anderson. 2 outs, nobody on for Alex Fernandez. Oka still playing on the third base side of the second base bag as Fernandez holds back a swing, but pitch gets called a strike, and it's 0-1.
The 0-1 pitch. They try for that outside corner, call the ball, and it's 1-1. That one missed a little too far outside. Either because of just the circumstances, meaning the score, or the nature of the game being a non-league contest. Chad Little seems to be giving pitches a little further off the outside corner than he was before. As Fernandez rips this one, it bounces just on the outfield grass on the right side and into right field for a base hit. 2-out single for Alex Fernandez, first hit of the night for him. And here's Peyton Stumbo, who is 0 for 0 with 3 walks, 1 run scored in this game. Stumbo has an interesting quirk. When he starts walking to the plate, he turns around towards the backstop and takes a deep breath on his bat before walking to home plate. Fernandez takes off first pitch. Stumbo laces one through the left side of the infield. That's a back-to-back base hit. First hit for Peyton Stumbo. Just the second hit of the year for him. That one moves Alex Fernandez up to second base. He wasn't able to take advantage of the hit and run that time. And here's Chase Graves. Runners on first and second and 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, Pippins leading 8-4, looking to add to it. The first pitch to Graves, he swings and misses. It was an off-speed pitch, possibly a curveball that he swung over top of and was well out in front of. So no balls and 1 strike for Graves. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, grounds this one to the shortstop. Oka goes to third and gets Fernandez, the lead runner, out on the force at third base. So they get 2 runners on with 2 outs, but can't score the runner. And we get into the 8th. Pippins on top, 8-4. We'll be right back. You tune into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back for the top of the 8th inning. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Highline Bears. Ryan Arredondo will get a second inning of work. Arredondo has made a 2-inning relief outing on June 15th. Actually, I believe it was a start against the Northwest Star Nighthawks, where he allowed 2 hits in 2 innings, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and 1 walk. Since then, less than 2 innings in his outings. 2 of those non-league appearances and 1 league appearance back on June 23rd against Ridgefield. First pitch to Ronnie Moss misses way outside. Carpentier gets a piece of the glove on it, but it goes back to the backstop nonetheless. 1-0 for Moss. It'll be Moss, Jaron Larson, and Kyle Casperson to start things off. 4, 5, and 6 here in the 8th. The 1-0 misses down low, and it is 2-0. Arredondo, flyout, started his 7th inning.
allowed a single, but then Noah Pulaski was caught between first and second by Carpentier, and a flyout ended that inning. Moss swings at a pitch up high, fouls it off, and it's 1-2, or 2-1 rather. Ronnie Moss is 0 for 3 tonight, reached on an error by Alex Fernandez in the first inning that scored a run, and otherwise 2 strikeouts for him tonight. The 2-1 pitch misses up high. 3 balls in 1 strike for Ronnie Moss. Arredondo with a 4-run cushion, as it looks like a couple of players, just in case, starting to move around down in the bullpen. Here's the 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch misses inside to Moss. It's a 5-pitch walk. First walk issued by Ryan Arredondo in this outing. And the legs will start to get moving down in the bullpen. Well, you never can be too careful or too prepared down in the bullpen, as we saw last night. Seth Kuykendall trying to come into the game in the 8th inning. Had gotten warmed up and had come onto the mound, started throwing his warm-up pitches as the first pitch skips off the thigh of Michael Carpentier Jr. Ronnie Moss over to second on the wild pitch. 1-0 count for Jaron Larson. And once Kuykendall got out there, the umpires realized he hadn't been listed on the lineup card as a substitute. And it turned out the umpires actually left it up to the Cowlitz Black Bears coaches as to whether they would allow Kuykendall to come in. They were not obligated to, but they could say it was fine and let him pitch. And, well, as you saw by the end of last night's game, the Cowlitz Black Bears coaches not very friendly last night. They decided to stiff-arm the Pippins as the pitch fouled off by Larson, and it's 1-1. Larson breaks his bat on a ball off the end of the bat, throws it away. There's shards all over the first base foul territory, and he's quite frustrated today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So, as I was saying, the Cowlitz coaches elected to not allow Kuykendall to pitch in last night's game. Owen Wild had been out in the bullpen as a just-in-case guy, having pitched the night before. He might have come into the game in the 9th if the game had still been tied, and was just out there in preparation for that. And once they started to realize Kuykendall might not be able to come into the game, he rushed to get warm down in the bullpen. Luckily, he was already down there. Ended up throwing just 8 warm-up pitches in the bullpen, came in and threw 8 on the mound, and then came into last night's game and still got through a scoreless 8th inning. So the Pippins don't want to get caught cold-handed again. They've got a few different guys starting to get loose. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Larson. Misses up high, and it goes off of the webbing of Michael Carpentier Jr.'s glove. He had trouble finding it, locates it, but Moss is already on his way to third. Second wild pitch for Ryan Arredondo. And Larson has himself a 2-2 count. That one will go down as a passed ball. Softly lifted, foul territory, third base side. Alex Fernandez runs it down and makes the catch. That's out number 1. Oh, great job by Alex Fernandez covering some ground on that one. Ronnie Moss, it wasn't deep enough for him to test the arm and try to score. So 1 out, runner on third base for Kyle Casperson. No Casperson. Instead, it is Lucas Delisle who comes into this game. First pitch is taken down low for a ball. It's 1-0. Casperson was 1 for 3. Actually, in his last at-bat, had reached on a single and stole second base, but they'll go ahead and bring Delisle into this game. He will catch as well as he takes one in the dirt. It's 2-0. Delisle, another catcher on the roster for the Highline Bears. Out of Olympic College from Bellingham, Washington, actually. Here's the 2-0 to Delisle.
That one, they go to the curveball. It bounces in the left-handed batter's box. 3-0 for the right-handed hitting catcher. The 3-0 pitch misses up high. It's a 4-pitch walk to Lucas Delisle. So 1 out and runners on the corners. Kelly Fitzpatrick, or Fitz, as his jersey would say if he was wearing it tonight. He will head out to the mound for a quick chat with Arredondo. Perhaps sees something in the mechanics that could be fixed. Maybe just your general 2-walk talk. Somebody is throwing down in the bullpen for the Pippins. It might be Case Matter. Just threw a ball that looked like a breaking ball in the dirt that bounced off of Josh Davis and then into lefties, actually, but it's a short fence down there, so he was able to go over and pick it up. Case Matter actually pitched the final 3 outs last night in controversial fashion. We'll get into that if he comes into this game. Trey Hunt will bat with runners on the corners and 1 out after the mound visit. The first pitch misses inside to Hunt. Hunt is 0 for 2. He walked back in the 4th inning and scored a run. 2 runs for the Highline Bears in the first, 2 runs in the 4th. Carpentier takes a pitch outside and tries to go down to first with it. Instead, it's just ball 2 to Trey Hunt. Carpentier doesn't throw, and there's no play. So 2 balls and no strikes. Arredondo delivers, catches the top of the zone, and it's 2-1. A 2-1 pitch. Misses outside and high. Arredondo in danger of walking the bases loaded with 1 out. In his first inning, he didn't walk or strike out anyone, just allowed 1 hit and no runs. Here in the second inning, walk, line out, and a walk, and he's down 3-1 against Trey Hunt. The pitch misses up high, and he does walk the bases loaded. 3rd walk for him in this inning. Ronnie Moss, who had walked to start the inning, moved to second on a wild pitch, moved to third on a pass ball. He's still on third, and Lucas Delisle, who pinch hit to walk on 4 pitches, he's now on second base with Trey Hunt on first. And Robbie Vandegrift coming up, but the Pippins will make a pitching change. We'll have that for you when we return. You tune in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The calm uncertainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting.
Come on, walk into the ice dome.
Welcome back as we continue the top of the 8th inning. Bases are loaded with 1 out after 3 walks issued by Ryan Arredondo. He did get 1 out thanks to Alex Fernandez covering some ground in foul territory to make a catch. The 8th inning of tonight's game is brought to you by Yakima Pediatric Dentistry, located at 3909 Creekside Loop in Yakima. Yakima Pediatric Dentistry offers specialized care for infants, kids, and teens in a safe, fun environment for children as they begin their lifetime journey to maintaining a healthy smile. Plenty to smile about in this game. The Pippins hitting the ball well, seeing the ball well, and haven't seemed to get too far out of their own form swing-wise. They have 8 runs. They scored all 8 in the first 4 innings. Neither team has scored since the bottom of the 4th when the Pippins made it 8-4. However, the Bears with a good chance here. Case Matter on the mound. He came into last night's game in the top of the 9th inning after Landon Shire had allowed 2 runs, breaking a 1-1 tie. The Black Bears took a 3-1 lead. Case Matter came into the game, the bases loaded and no outs. He struck out Jacob Stinson for the first out, and then got Sam Brown to fly out to left field. First pitch to Robbie Vandegrift is taken outside. So Sam Brown flies out to left field on what could be a sacrifice fly as the runner from third, Matthew Schwartz, tags up and initially scores, but the Pippins go over and tag third base, and Schwartz is called out for failing to tag up. They say he left the third base bag early, and that ended the top of the 9th with just 2 runs for the Black Bears as Vandegrift takes a ball, and it's 2-0. Ended up being all the runs they would need. The Pippins could not score in the bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded and a 3-0 count now for Robbie Vandegrift as he takes a pitch high and inside. And the Highline Bears starting to get into this game. The dugout, I should say. The 3-0 pitch misses high, and Case Matter walks. The merry-go-round begins. Here comes run number 1, forced home by the walk with 1 out. Well, last night we saw one version of Case Matter, the one that throws strikes and gets outs. And so far to start this appearance, we see the other side of Case Matter that sometimes rears its head. One that struggles to locate the velocity. Hasn't thrown a strike yet. He'll try to against Ryan Oka. 1 out, bases still loaded. It's now 8-5. First pitch from Case Matter to the left-handed hitting Ryan Oka, misses down low. And it is 1-0. And you just know that in the back of the mind of the Yakima Valley Pippins is last night, still fresh in their heads. 1-0 pitch misses down low. It's 2-0. And somebody else getting loose right away for the Pippins. It is Connor Kobalis, actually. Did not start this game for the Pippins and hasn't pitched this year, but he is technically a two-way player as Case Matter throws his first strike on the high outside corner. It's actually not Ryan Oka at the plate. It is Kellen Harding batting for Oka. Two and 1. The pitch from Matter in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, the nickname on the back of Case Matter's jersey is Does, because Case does matter. So the count is even with 1 out. Case steps off, and he'll step back on. 2-2 pitch on its way. Harding pops one up, foul territory. Fernandez giving chase to the fence, and we'll watch it fall in lefties. They'll reset. Runners stayed where they were in the off chance they could tag on the play. That one might have been deep enough for Lucas Delisle to try the arm of Alex Fernandez. There's lots of green jerseys over there because that's where the bullpen is, but only one of them eligible to make the catch, but well beyond his reach out of play. So we'll try for the 2-2 again from Case Matter. Swung on and missed. Kellen Harding strikes out, and that is out number 2. That'll bring Thomas Blakeney to the plate. Did not start this game, but he is in this game now. First 2 at-bats in this spot of the lineup went to Dylan Anders, who started at third base, and then Blakeney took over, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, flew out in the 7th.
First pitch to him here in the 8th inning. Takes up high for a ball. Well, this game was moving at a good pace as of the bottom of the 7th inning and has since really crawled its way along. We're at about the 2.5 hour mark, about 2:20 right now. Still an inning left to play. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Blakeney. It is 1-1 with 2 outs. Case Matter took a few pitches to find the strike zone. Looks like he might have it dialed in pretty close anyways. Pippins up by 3, bases loaded. The 1-1 pitch misses high and inside, though not nearly inside enough to justify Blakeney turning the shoulder like he did. Stands well off the plate. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off the mask of Michael Carpentier Jr. That's the second one he's taken off the mask by my count tonight. And there's 2 balls and 2 strikes for Thomas Blakeney. They had mentioned Connor Kobalas potentially getting some relief opportunities this week. They weren't sure when it would be. He'll throw an inning in this non-league stretch of play either today or tomorrow. The 2-2 pitch misses down low, and it's a full count for Thomas Blakeney. So full count for Blakeney with 2 outs and the bases loaded. The Pippins and Case Matter trying to get out of this jam. Matter set. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners going. Swung on and missed. First batter walks. The next 2 strike out, and Case does matter indeed. 1 run scores in the inning. It goes to Ryan Arredondo. Case Matter gets the final 2 outs, and the Pippins will bat in the bottom of the 8th with an 8-5 lead. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back for the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's the top of the order for the Pippins, starting with Spencer Marenko, Mason's brother. Bryce Martin Grudzelanek up next, followed by Taylor Holder. Danny Anderson back out for a second inning of work. He allowed 2 hits and struck out 2 in the 7th inning. No runs against him so far. Pippins haven't scored since the 4th, but their 8 runs over the first 4 innings have been enough so far. 2 runs for him in the first inning, 3 in the second, 2 more in the third, and a last one in the 4th. The Bears scored 2 in the first, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 8th. 8-5 lead for Yakima Valley. Mason's brother starts things off. He takes a ball low and inside to start his at-bat. Pippins, of course, playing some non-league games. They come into these couple of games with 2 off days to follow. Still on top of the North Division in the second half, as Spencer swings through one, and it's 1-1. Pippins are 10-5 in West Coast League play in the second half, followed by Bellingham, who did not play a game while the Pippins were playing Cowlitz. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner, and it's 1-2. At one point, the Pippins were up 2.5 games on the Bells, but
After the loss last night, Bellingham now 2 games back with an 8-7 record. Danny Anderson set. Here's the 1-2. Change up, and Spencer waits back on it, fouls it off to stay alive. The Walla Walla Swedes next by winning percentage with a 5-10 record in the second half. They're 5 games back. Port Angeles at 4-8 and Wenatchee at 4-11 are further down the standings as well. Spencer takes one up high, and it's 2-2. In the South, Corvallis is on top of their division after winning the first half just like the Pippins. 2-2 taken inside, and it's a full count for Spencer Marenko. Corvallis is 10-2. Ridgefield, Cowlitz, and Bend are all 7-5. They're 3 games back behind the Knights. Interesting little race going in the South Division for the opportunity to go to the playoffs. The full count pitch to Spencer Marenko takes a front door breaking ball that comes back over the plate. He had tossed his bat away but strikes out looking for out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th. And here's Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. Corvallis, of course, won the first half in the South Division. So they're automatically in just like the Pippins are. So if nobody is able to win the second half in the South, it goes down to overall winning percentage. As Bryce takes a front door breaking ball that does not come back over, and it's 1-0. So all 3 of those teams not just vying for the top spot, and all close enough to really still be in it at this point. Here's the 1-0. Called strike to Bryce, and it's 1-1. But also playing to finish strong down the stretch to end up with the best overall winning percentage. The 1-1 pitch. Bryce flies this one into right field. Ronnie Moss, actually not Ronnie Moss, somebody else over near it. He makes the catch. That was Kellen Harding who hit for Ryan Oka. Ronnie Moss is actually at second base. And Taylor Holder will bat with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch swinging grounder to the third baseman. Blakeney, who has trouble with the hop, throws over to first. It was on target, but Taylor Holder well in there already. He reaches for the 5th time tonight, but will it go down as a hit, or is it the first time he doesn't reach on a hit or a walk? Was an awkward hop for the third baseman, and we'll see how they score it here in Yakima. So Kellen Harding is out in right field. Robbie Vandegrift has slid over to shortstop. And Ronnie Moss is at second. Here's Michael Carpentier Jr. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. It will go down as an error by the third baseman for Holder. So Holder is now 3 for 4 with a walk. Carpentier at the plate. Holder on first base. Pippins haven't scored since the 4th inning. The 0-1. Holder takes off. Late jump. Throw goes down to second. Tag not in time. And Taylor Holder steals his second base of the night. Holder has been running like crazy against these catchers. Lucas Delisle, the new catcher behind the plate for Highline. And I believe those are all of the defensive changes as Carpentier takes one down low, and it's 1-1. Carpentier 2 for 4 tonight, double and a single in his first 2 at-bats. After that, a strikeout and a ground out. Has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-1, try to go backdoor slider, does not come back over the plate. And it is 3-1. Danny Anderson comes set, delivers the 3-1 pitch, fouled off the end of the bat by Michael Carpentier Jr. Ball goes straight back to the netting. So it's a full count for the catcher. Pippins and the Highline Bears play one more game tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. Team posters handed out to all the fans, well, to the first 500 between tonight and tomorrow night. And players are signing autographs after the game for everyone, and I mean everyone. Carpentier gets a handle on this one and drills one into right center. That will roll to the wall after a couple of hops. Scoring from second is Holder, and on his way to third goes Carpentier. The throw goes over the head of the cutoff man. The backup cutoff man gets it, and the throw to third is not in time. Michael Carpentier Jr. with a triple scores a run, and the Pippins are out in front 9-5. Well, Carpentier is not the fastest catcher you've ever seen, but he can hit a ball hard and takes advantage of the deep dimensions here in the outfield in Yakima County Stadium. He has 2 triples in West Coast League play. This one, of course, will not go into that category as it's a non-league game, but shows that he has done that kind of thing in the past. Jarrell fouls the first pitch off. It's 0-1. Jarrell is 0 for 4 tonight. He did reach on a fielder's choice in the third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Taken down low. And it's 1-1. Last night, players signed autographs. As it was fireworks night, sending the fans home with some more excitement, getting a chance to get some autographs. The tables lined up as you exit the stadium with players sitting there, and they sat and signed for every fan who came through the line. They'll do so again tonight. 2 balls and 1 strike for Corey Jarrell, the pitch. Backdoor slider in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Anderson has been working with that outside corner and is just pounding that side, especially against the lefties. Again, tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. Pippins will take Sunday and Monday off. The 2-2, and Jarrell drills this one into right field. Racing over is Harding. He makes the diving catch. Late call from the umpires after they find the ball, and Harding makes the play to end the 8th. The Pippins do get a run. They now lead 9-5. We'll be right back. You tune into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back for the top of the 9th inning. Case Matter out to finish this game, potentially. Connor Cabales did get warm in the last half inning and might get warm again if Case Matter starts to run into any trouble. We might see Connor Cabales pitch tomorrow. It's a twofold measure. It's an opportunity to have someone eat an inning that's not a pitcher they expect to use down the stretch, but it also allows Cabales to sort of shake the rust off of his arm. He is technically a two-way player. He did pitch and play infield before. but not this year for YVC. At Yakima Valley College, he exclusively was a hitter, did not pitch this year. But they've known that his arm was still an option in an emergency situation. Obviously, not an emergency here today, but an opportunity to shake the rust off as they might need to use him down the stretch. They've got 6-game road trip coming up starting on Tuesday after the off days Sunday and Monday. Noah Pulowski starts things off, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. And I think he wasn't a fan of that call. He played it off pretty well, but didn't seem to be quite pleased with that outside corner strike that his pitcher has been benefiting from for the last few innings. Swing and a miss on a ball that was on the same distance outside, but almost in the dirt, and Pulowski behind 0-2. So a 6-game road trip for the Pippins. They go to Corvallis for 3 nights and then Port Angeles. It's a long road trip and a long trip back on that Sunday night. They'll take the following Monday off and then play their final regular season series against the Wenatchee Apple Sox Tuesday, August 10th through the 12th. As Pulowski takes a ball outside, it's 1-2. Case Matter working through this 9th inning into the windup, the 1-2 pitch. They go back to the outside. That one misses off the plate, and it's 2-2. The Pippins have already secured their ticket to the playoffs. They don't, although this team especially always wants to win every game or at least every series. The 2-2 misses high and outside, and it's a full count for Noah Pulowski after falling behind 0-2. However, even though they would like to win every series, the pressure is not on them to keep winning. The pressure is to make sure they have their arms lined up as Pulowski swings and misses for strike 3, and that's out number 1 in the top of the 9th. Here's Tyler Black. More important is load management for the arms for the pitchers, as well as lining up guys to make starts and potentially relief appearances in the opening series of the playoffs. By the way, Pippins are guaranteed one playoff home game August 15th. Right here, you can buy tickets to that at pippinstickets.com. You'll want to get those tickets before you no longer can. Strike taken at the knees by Tyler Black, and he's behind 0-1. Tonight's 9th inning is brought to you by the Yakima Herald Republic. For all game reports and news about the Pippins, read the Yakima Herald Republic, either in print or online. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell the Pippins stories. It's been an interesting story for the Pippins as Case Matter hits Tyler Black. And Black, who is without a hit, has now reached base 3 times tonight. 2 walks, and now getting hit by Case Matter. Pippins score 8 runs in the first 4 innings. Highline Bears score 2 in the first and 2 more in the 4th. And then nobody scores again until the 8th when each team gets 1. So the Pippins with a 9-5 lead here in the top of the 9th. Connor Wilson starts on the mound for the Pippins. 6 innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 hits, and 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. Ronnie Moss pulls a ground ball on the first base side, hits a rock near the line, and goes foul. No balls and 1 strike for him. Tyler Black on first base, 1 out. Bears down by 4 here in the 9th. And Kobalis back to throwing on the mound just in case things slip away from Case Matter. Here's the 0-1 from Matter. Swung on and fouled off by Moss. And he's in the hole 0-2. Moss is 0 for 3 tonight. Reached on an error, 2 strikeouts. He walked to start the 8th inning. Was one of 3 walks issued by Ryan Arredondo before he was pulled with 1 out in the inning. And then Case Matter came in and walked his first batter to force home Ronnie Moss before striking out the next 2. Here's the 0-2 to Moss. Fouls it off third base side, out of play. Slipped underneath the sunshades and into the parking lot on the third base side. So still 0-2
for Ronnie Moss, who at this point in the game is playing second base after starting out in right field. Number of pinch hitters and defensive changes for the Highline Bears in the second half of this game. Here's the 0-2 pitch again. They go backdoor this time, but leave it up high, and it's 1-2. Matter out of Mill Creek, Washington, from Henry M. Jackson High School. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So another batter in this inning gets started by falling behind 0-2. The first one, Noah Pawlowski, then worked back to a full count before striking out. Ronnie Moss with a 2-2 count. Pitch. Outside, he lets it go. Full count. Connor Kobalis looks like he's warmed down in the bullpen, and we'll see what happens with this at-bat for Ronnie Moss, the left-handed hitter. Matter delivers the payoff pitch. In there, strike 3. Moss takes, and I don't know if he thought that pitch was high. It was right down the middle, just a matter of the elevation-wise. I think he thought it was up high, but it was not. Strike 3 taken by Moss. 2 outs and a runner on here in the top of the 9th inning for Jaron Larson. Larson had a single in the top of the 4th inning. Wound up getting doubled off of second base after moving over on a wild pitch. The next batter, Kyle Casperson, hit a line drive right at Alex Fernandez, who made the catch, threw back to second to get Larson off the bag. Larson at the plate, left-handed hitter. First pitch swinging and got himself twisted up there. 0-1. Pitch was elevated a little bit. He tried to go after it. That's a pitch that always looks good but is almost impossible to hit, or at least hit well. Flags out in right center, starting to pick up with wind from left to right. You don't feel it at home plate, let me tell you. Here's the 0-1. Larson fouls one off the end of the bat, and it's 0-2. This is the third batter of this inning that Case Matter has gotten out in front of 0-2. This time he's 1 strike away from finishing this game off. Working out of the stretch with the runner Tyler Black on first base. Long hold. Here's the 0-2 to Larson. Checks his swing. Taken down and inside for a ball. It hops off the shin guard of Carpentier, and on to second goes Black. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jaron Larson. With Black on second base. And 2 outs. Case Matter delivers. Swung on and just fouled off by Larson. Keeps himself in this count. Walks back to the grass and now back to the left-handed batter's box. Step away. Now digs back in. Matter will look in for the sign from Michael Carpentier Jr. And comes set, hands at the belt. Here's the 1-2 again. Swung on and missed, ball in the dirt. Carpentier doesn't know where it is. It was near his feet. Now he throws down to first. Bryce stretches out and catches it for out number 3. 3 strikeouts in the inning. He does hit a batter, but hey, he still gets through the inning. And this game is over. Pippins walk away with a 9-5 win. 2 runs in the first inning for him, 3 in the second, 2 more in the third, and a 8th run in the 4th inning for Highline. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the 4th. Both teams score 1 in the 8th, so that one neutral. And the Pippins walk away with the 9-5 victory. For the Pippins, it was 9 runs on 10 hits. They commit 2 errors in the game. For the Highline Bears, 5 runs on 6 hits and 6 errors in the game for them. 8 errors combined for these 2 teams. Most of them coming in the first half of the game. Just got kind of ugly. That's where most of the runs came from. The Pippins walk away with the win tonight. They'll play one more time in non-league action against these Highline Bears tomorrow night at 7:05 p.m. Kirby Robertson will get the start on the mound. Until then, I've been Chris Rosado Jr. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you'll